This video is to talk about taking an exam in Blackboard. You have your homework assignments, which we went over in Evolve, but you do have exams, which each one is worth 100 points, and you will see them when you're in Blackboard over on the left side under Assessments. Here I'm going to just show you Chapter 1 exam here. It will say here when the starting date is. Normally this will say something like June 11th, and it is available until, as we said, our date would be July 7th. So everything has to be completed by then. You have 1 hour to take this exam, and you have all of your questions will be delivered at once, and you have 1 attempt available for you. You want to make sure that you have the complete hour available to you to take your exam, that you're not going to be interrupted or that your internet connection is going to stop. You really need to be in a good, secure place to take this exam so that you have the entire hour to do your exam, because there is a timer, and when the timer goes off, that's the end of the exam. So let me show you what the exam looks like. I'm going to click on Begin Assessment. This is the window that comes up. On the left side are the questions that you have. You'll see it says the opposite of hyper is, and then I would say hypo, and then I'm going to click Save the Answer. Now until I save the answer, over on the right side you see where there's a little exclamation point, answer is not saved. Once I click Save the Answer, it turns into a check mark. You want to make sure that you save all your answers. You can also go through and just answer all your questions and at the end click Save All. But you do want to make sure that you answer every single one of these questions. You want to be very careful when you're answering information in a box. Here it says, what is removal of half of the stomach? You want to make sure that you, number one, spell it absolutely correctly. And then you click on Save Answer. So you want to make sure that not only do you type it in, but you also save your answer at the end, and you check your spelling, because spelling does count in this class. You go all the way down, making sure that all your answers are correct. Remember that you do have an hour to complete this exam. There are 50 questions on every single one of our exams. And then at the end, you want to make sure, just to double check, you click Save All, and when you're finished you can click on Finish. If you did not answer some of the questions, it will bring up a box telling you that you did not answer some of your questions. Also, when you get really close to the ending of the hour, it will warn you that you have a few minutes left and that you need to save your answers before it's over. Lastly, when you're finished with your exam, you'll be able to see right away how well you did. If there's a situation where you answered a question, let's say we have inflammation of the intestine, and you put enteritis, and then you had an extra S there by accident, or you said enteritis, but you did a capital E. Sometimes it marks those little types of things wrong. Please shoot me an email letting me know, number one, the question that you had a problem with. So in other words, I would like you to copy this entire thing like this when you look at your answers, so I could see the number and the problem with the question and what you think is wrong with it, and shoot that to me in an email so that I can fix it for you, because I really want your exam score to be fair, but I also want to be able to find it quickly, because if I have 15 emails where everyone has maybe 2 or 3 problems on an exam, I don't want to have to search through everyone's exam. So if you could do that for me, that would really save me some time. So when you're all finished, you click on Finish. Notice here it says you haven't answered some questions, but I'm going to go ahead and say OK anyway. And it says it's being submitted and it's all done. You can click on View Your Attempt, and it will show you all your answers and how well you did. Again, if you have a problem with one of your questions, click and copy it and paste it into a Microsoft Word, or I'm sorry, into your email, and send that to me, and I will go ahead and fix it. So just letting you know, make sure you check your answers before you're finished. Since you do have an hour to finish this exam, I do know that it's completely open book. I wouldn't think anything less than an online class that you wouldn't have your book in front of you. But that is why there's a timer on it. You will need to study. You will need to do your homework, and you will need to study before you take this exam. There is no way you can look up every question in 1 hour. Okay? Let me know if you have any questions over the exam.